Hello and welcome to Declutter, where we untangle the ideas shaping your mind and life. Let me start with a shocking fact. The average person checks their phone almost 100 times a day. That's once every 10 minutes. And each time you tap, scroll, or swipe, your brain releases a hit of dopamine, the same chemical that lights up in cocaine addiction. The problem? Just like with any drug, the more you use it, the less satisfied you feel and the more you crave. Notifications, likes, new videos, endless feeds, they keep pulling you in, promising happiness but quietly stealing your focus, your time, and even your sense of self. Almost a century ago, the writer Aldous Huxley imagined a future where people wouldn't be controlled by fear or force, but by pleasure itself. A world where comfort and entertainment would become the chains that keep humanity docile. Back then, it sounded like science fiction. Today, it feels like prophecy. Because right now, we're living in an age where your brain is being hijacked, not by a shadowy government or a villain in a movie, but by your own desires. The same instincts that once helped your ancestors survive in harsh environments are now being weaponized against you. And unless you recognize it, you'll stay trapped in what we can call the pleasure prison. So in today's video, we're going to uncover how this works, the science behind dopamine, the tricks used by technology, food, and media companies, the real effects it has on your mind and body, and most importantly, how you can break free. Because this isn't just about phones or apps. It's about reclaiming your freedom to live a meaningful life. Dopamine is often called the pleasure chemical, but that's not really accurate. It's not the chemical that makes you happy. Instead, it's the chemical that makes you want. It fuels your drive, your craving, your urge to chase something. When you get the thing you wanted, your dopamine drops. And very quickly, you're looking for the next hit. Think of it this way, when your ancestors saw a berry bush in the wild, dopamine fired up to push them toward it. When they ate the berries, the dopamine dropped. That little rise and fall cycle was perfect for survival. It kept them hunting, gathering, reproducing. But today, we don't live in scarcity anymore. We live in abundance and, more importantly, in manipulation. Entire industries are built on hijacking your dopamine system. Social media apps are not neutral tools. They are carefully designed dopamine machines. The bright colors, the infinite scroll, the unpredictable rewards when you refresh, all of it is engineered to keep you hooked. It's the same principle slot machines use in casinos. Psychologists call it variable reinforcement. If you win every time, you get bored. If you never win, you quit. But if you win unpredictably, sometimes after one spin, sometimes after 10, your brain goes crazy with anticipation. That's exactly how your TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube feed works, and it doesn't stop there. Fast food chains, video games, streaming platforms, even dating apps, they all compete in what scientists now call the dopamine economy. Whoever can give your brain the cheapest, fastest hit of dopamine wins your time, your attention, and ultimately, your life. But here's the problem, cheap dopamine has a cost. The more you consume it, the less sensitive your brain becomes. Just like a drug addict needs more and more to feel the same high, your brain begins needing bigger and faster hits. Ordinary pleasures, a walk outside, a meaningful conversation, reading a book start to feel dull and boring. And that's when the real trap begins. Because now your natural rewards are gone, and only the artificial ones remain. When we fall into the dopamine trap, the consequences go far beyond wasting time on our phones. It actually reshapes the way our brain works and how we experience life. First, let's talk about focus. Have you noticed how hard it is to read a book for more than a few minutes without checking your phone? That is not just lack of discipline. That is your brain rewired to crave constant stimulation. Every time you give in to quick dopamine, you're training your brain to expect a reward instantly. So when faced with slow rewards like studying, working on a project, or building a relationship, your brain resists. It feels uncomfortable. Second, there's anxiety and restlessness. Dopamine spikes and crashes create a roller coaster inside your brain. One moment you're buzzing with excitement over a new notification, the next moment you feel empty and restless. That low pushes you to chase another high, scroll more, binge more, consume more. It's a cycle of craving and disappointment. Third, depression. When your natural reward system is dulled, the ordinary joys of life stop feeling satisfying. Instead of excitement from a walk in the park or a meal with friends, your brain is silently screaming, "Where's my hit?" Over time, this imbalance can drain motivation and lead to feelings of hopelessness. And finally, the long-term cost is identity itself. You lose the ability to control what you truly value. Instead of choosing how to spend your time, your dopamine system is choosing for you. You become reactive instead of proactive. Days blur into endless scrolling, weeks vanish into Netflix binges, and years pass without progress toward your real goals. This is the hidden danger. Not that dopamine is bad, it's essential. The danger is when external systems hijack it so completely that you are no longer in control of your own brain. When we fall into the dopamine trap, the consequences go far beyond wasting time on our phones. It actually reshapes the way our brain works and how we experience life. First, let's talk about focus. Have you noticed how hard it is to read a book for more than a few minutes without checking your phone? That's not just lack of discipline, that is your brain rewired to crave constant stimulation. Every time you give in to quick dopamine, you're training your brain to expect a reward instantly. So when faced with slow rewards like studying, working on a project, or building a relationship, your brain resists. It feels uncomfortable. Second, there's anxiety and restlessness. One moment you're buzzing with excitement over a new notification, the next moment you feel empty and restless. That low pushes you to chase another high, scroll more, binge more, consume more. It's a cycle of craving and disappointment. Third, depression. Instead of excitement from a walk in the park or a meal with friends, your brain is silently screaming, "Where's my hit?" Over time, this imbalance can drain motivation and lead to feelings of hopelessness. And finally, the long-term cost is identity itself. Instead of choosing how to spend your time, your dopamine system is choosing for you. You become reactive instead of proactive. Days blur into endless scrolling, weeks vanish into Netflix binges, and years pass without progress toward your real goals. This is the hidden danger. The danger is when external systems hijack it so completely that you are no longer in control of your own brain. So far, we've seen how dopamine works, how overstimulation traps us, and how a reset can help. But what does this mean for your everyday life? Let's break it down into simple, practical steps you can start today. Step 1. Identify your triggers. Think about the activities that give you quick dopamine hits but leave you drained afterward. Maybe it's TikTok scrolling, late-night junk food, or checking notifications every 5 minutes. Write them down. Awareness is the first step. Step 2. Replace, don't just remove. If you simply cut out bad habits, you'll feel a void. The trick is to replace them with activities that are naturally rewarding. Instead of scrolling, take a short walk. Instead of junk food, snack on fruit. Instead of binge watching, read a chapter of a book or listen to a podcast. Step 3. Use habit stacking. This is a powerful method popularized in Atomic Habits. Attach a new healthy behavior to an existing one. For example, after I brush my teeth, I'll meditate for 2 minutes. After I make coffee, I'll write down my top 3 tasks for the day. This way, the existing habit acts like a trigger for the new one. Step 4. Limit multitasking. Your brain loves quick switches because each one gives a small dopamine hit. But multitasking actually reduces productivity. Instead, try single tasking with a timer to 25 minutes of pure focus, then a 5-minute break. This is called the Pomodoro technique and it works wonders. Step 5. Redefine rewards. Instead of rewarding yourself with more screen time, reward progress with something that adds value, like calling a friend, going outside, or treating yourself to a healthy snack. Make the reward align with the life you want to build. Step 6. Sleep and movement. This might sound basic, but nothing resets your dopamine system like quality sleep and physical activity. Exercise gives you a natural dopamine boost, and sleep keeps the system balanced. They're like the foundation of your brain's operating system. Remember, small changes compound. You don't have to overhaul your entire life in one go. Just start with one trigger, one replacement, one habit stack. Over time, your brain rewires itself, and what once felt impossible becomes automatic. Let's zoom out for a moment. Dopamine is not just about our personal habits. It's also shaped by the world we live in. We live in what some call the attention economy. Companies compete for one thing, your focus. Social media platforms, apps, even food companies design their products to deliver quick dopamine spikes. Every notification, every like, every bite of processed food is carefully engineered to keep you hooked. This doesn't mean technology is bad or that pleasure is wrong. Dopamine itself is not the enemy. It's essential for motivation and progress. The real problem is imbalance. When our brains are flooded with constant stimulation, we lose control. Instead of using dopamine as a tool, we become its prisoner. Think about it this way. Dopamine is like money. Used wisely, it helps you invest in things that matter: learning, relationships, health, meaningful work. But if you spend recklessly on cheap thrills, you end up broke and empty. This is why balance is everything. Pleasure isn't bad. Watching a movie, eating dessert, or scrolling through Instagram is fine, as long as it doesn't dominate your life. The key is to make sure your biggest dopamine hits come from activities that build you up, not break you down. Imagine your life as a garden. If you only water the weeds, the quick, easy pleasures, they'll overrun everything. But if you nurture the plants that take time, your skills, your health, your relationships, the garden becomes beautiful and sustainable. So, what does living with balanced dopamine look like? It means choosing intentional pleasures over compulsive ones. It means designing your environment so that healthy choices are easier. And most importantly, it means remembering that fulfillment comes from effort, not shortcuts. When you live this way, you'll notice a shift. Things that once felt boring, like reading, creating, or simply being present, will start to feel rewarding again. You'll find yourself more motivated, more focused, and more alive. And that brings us to the end of our deep dive into Dopamine Nation by Dr. Anna Lenby. We've learned how dopamine shapes our lives, how modern society overloads us with constant hits of pleasure, and most importantly, how we can regain control through balance, intentional choices, and embracing discomfort. Remember, pleasure isn't the problem. It's about how we manage it. By understanding dopamine, we can take back the driver's seat and live more fulfilling, meaningful lives. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and subscribe to Declutter for more book summaries that help you simplify your mind and master your life. Thank you so much for watching. Stay balanced, stay mindful, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye for now.